All right, let's talk about something that makes a lot of people, well, sex work. Boom, said it. Now, before you clutch your pearls or quickly switch tabs, let's get one thing straight. The picture most folks have in their heads, it's usually a Bollywood caricature, isn't it? Either a tragic figure draped in sorrow or a villainous vamp. But here's the deal. Reality is way more complex. It's not a movie plot. These are actual human beings navigating life, just like you and me, but with a whole different set of challenges that society conveniently likes to sweep under the rug, or worse, sensationalize without a shred of understanding. The common misconceptions are just wild, man. People think it's all about choice, or lack thereof. They assume every sex worker is either forced into it or is somehow morally bankrupt, like there's no middle ground, no nuance. It's like saying everyone who works a 9-to-5 job absolutely loves it and chose it from a divine calling. Come on, circumstances, economic pressures, lack of opportunities, these are real factors. We're talking about a spectrum of experiences here, not a one-size-fits-all sob story or a tale of gleeful rebellion. It's often a means of survival, a difficult path chosen when other doors seemed firmly shut, bolted, and probably had a no-entry sign painted on them for good measure. Think about it. We, as a society, are quick to judge, quick to label. We see the word sex worker and an entire pre-programmed narrative starts playing in our minds. This narrative is often fed by sensational media, outdated beliefs, and a general unwillingness to listen. We forget that behind the label is a person with dreams, fears, families, and the same basic human needs as anyone else. They laugh, they cry, they pay bills, or try to, and they definitely don't appreciate being reduced to a stereotype. It's high time we press pause on those ingrained biases and actually tried to understand the multifaceted realities. And this isn't just an over-there problem. This is happening in our cities, our towns, sometimes right under our noses. The invisibility is part of the issue. By not talking about it, by pretending it doesn't exist, or by only whispering about it in hushed, judgmental tones, we contribute to the stigma. We make it harder for those involved to seek help, to find support, or even just to be seen as human. So, the first step, let's just acknowledge the human beings behind the profession and agree to ditch the tired, old, inaccurate scripts we've been fed for far too long. It's about seeing people, not just the work they do. Now, let's get into the daily grind, the nitty-gritty. Imagine starting your day not knowing if you'll earn enough to feed your kids or yourself. That's the reality for many. Take Priya, not her real name, of course. She once told a social worker, "Every morning I pray, not just for money, but for safety. Will the client be kind? Will he be violent? Will the police harass me today? This isn't a 9-to-5 with a lunch break and office gossip. This is a constant tightrope walk, a relentless navigation of risk and uncertainty. The emotional toll alone is immense, a burden carried silently, often without any support system to lean on. The struggle isn't just about the work itself, it's about everything that surrounds it. Access to basic healthcare, a nightmare. Many doctors are judgmental or worse, refuse treatment. Imagine having a health concern and being too scared to see a doctor because of how they'll treat you, not for your illness, but for your job. Then there's housing. Landlords often refuse to rent to sex workers, or they charge exorbitant rates, exploiting their vulnerability. So many are forced into unsafe living conditions, further compounding their difficulties. It's a cycle, a really tough one to break, especially when society keeps adding more locks to the exits. Let's talk resilience, though, because, man, these individuals have it in spades. Consider Lakshmi, who uses a part of her earnings to send her younger brother to school, hoping he'll have opportunities she never did. She faces stigma daily, the whispers, the stares, yet she gets up, faces the world, and provides for her family. This isn't weakness, this is incredible strength. It's the courage to keep going when the world is actively trying to push you down. It's about finding ways to carve out moments of normalcy, joy, and connection in a life that is anything but ordinary or easy. Their stories are not just about suffering, they are profound tales of human endurance. And it's not just about financial survival, it's about emotional survival too. Many sex workers form tight-knit communities, offering each other support, protection, and a sense of belonging that the wider society denies them. These chosen families become lifelines. They share information about dangerous clients, pool resources, and provide a shoulder to cry on. This informal support network is crucial, a testament to their ability to create solidarity in the face of adversity. They are not just passive victims, they are active agents in their own lives, fighting for dignity and a better tomorrow, often with very little help from the outside. Society's attitude is a huge part of the problem, let's be honest. It's this giant, invisible wall of shame and judgment. Sex workers are often seen as fallen or immoral, rather than as individuals trying to make a living. often in dire circumstances. This stigma isn't just about hurt feelings, okay? It has real-world consequences. It isolates them, makes them targets for violence, and prevents them from accessing justice. If a sex worker is robbed or assaulted, who do they turn to? The police might be dismissive, or worse, harass them further. This societal shunning creates a breeding ground for exploitation because perpetrators know their victims have limited recourse. Then there's the legal mess. In India, the laws around sex work are complicated and often contradictory. While sex work itself isn't illegal for an individual, activities surrounding it, like soliciting in public, running a brothel, or living off the earnings of sex work, are criminalized. This creates a bizarre situation where the work is quasi-legal, but everything needed to do it safely is not. It pushes the entire industry underground into the shadows, where it's far more dangerous. This legal ambiguity doesn't stop sex work. It just makes it incredibly unsafe for those involved, leaving them vulnerable to exploitation by police, pimps, and clients. This legal framework essentially means that sex workers are constantly at risk of arrest or harassment. They operate in a grey zone, never truly secure. Think about it. How can you demand safe working conditions when your work itself forces you to operate outside the clear protection of the law? It's a catch-22. The laws, supposedly there to protect, end up contributing to their vulnerability. Instead of targeting exploitation and trafficking, which are the real crimes, the system often ends up penalizing the sex workers themselves, who are often the most marginalized and in need of protection. It's a system that feels designed to fail them at every turn. And this isn't just about the letter of the law, it's about how it's enforced. Corruption and abuse of power are rampant. Police raids are often violent and indiscriminate. Sex workers report extortion, threats, and even sexual violence at the hands of those who are supposed to uphold the law. This creates a profound distrust of authority, meaning that even when they are victims of serious crimes, they are unlikely to report them. The very system meant to provide justice becomes another source of fear and oppression. It's a cycle of marginalization reinforced by societal stigma and a broken legal system. So, what's the solution? It's not rocket science, but it does require a massive shift in perspective. First off, we need to talk about decriminalization. Not legalization that leads to state control and potential exploitation, but decriminalization. This means removing criminal penalties for consensual adult sex work. This allows sex workers to operate more openly, access health services without fear, and report crimes committed against them. It shifts the focus from punishing the workers to targeting actual exploitation, violence, and trafficking. It's about safety, plain and simple, and giving them the same rights as any other worker. Alongside legal reform, we desperately need better social welfare programs. This isn't just about handing out money, it's about providing real support, access to non-judgmental healthcare, including mental health services. It's about housing support so they aren't forced to choose between a roof over their head and their safety. Education and skill development opportunities are also crucial for those who wish to transition out of sex work. These programs need to be designed with input from sex workers themselves, ensuring they meet their actual needs, not what someone in an office they need. It's about empowerment, not just aid. Crucially, we need to fight the stigma. This is a big one, a cultural battle. It means challenging our own biases, educating ourselves and others. It means amplifying the voices of sex workers, letting them tell their own stories, in their own words. Media representation needs to change drastically. We need to move beyond the harmful stereotypes and portray the diverse realities of their lives. When society begins to see sex workers as human beings deserving of dignity and respect rather than as outcasts, the path to meaningful change becomes much clearer. It's about fostering empathy and understanding, one conversation at a time. Ultimately, this is about human rights. Every individual, regardless of their profession, deserves to live a life free from violence, discrimination, and exploitation. The resilience shown by sex workers in the face of overwhelming adversity is a testament to their strength. But they shouldn't have to be this strong just to survive. They deserve systems that protect them, not penalize them. They deserve social support, not social ostracism. It's time to listen, to learn, and to advocate for a world where their humanity is not just acknowledged, but actively upheld and defended. Their fight for dignity is a fight for basic human decency for all of us.